and another 3 seconds or so. I start the countdown after I hit to start streaming, but
Hmm.
buffering just takes so long. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's no problem for our YouTube viewers.
Yeah.
Remember, you can watch us over on YouTube if you ever miss an episode. Or if
Yeah.
you're on YouTube, you're watching us right now, so this is relevant information for you. Thank you for
Yeah.
watching. Uh,
Yeah.
so we're back again.
Yeah. Back again. Episode 8.
We we say that so often. I'm
Hmm.
starting to feel like we're the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Yep, that's us. 90s pop group. That's totally us.
Back, 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 back. I don't fucking know how that song goes.
Yeah, I have no
It,
idea.
doesn't it start like the boys are back or something? Or is that something else? Out.
I don't know.
God, we really didn't pay much attention to the early 2000s rad music fads, you know.
To be fair, we were both small children at the time, so
That is true. I paid attention, I just didn't understand.
yeah,
The cognitive processing wasn't there yet.
exactly.
Anyways,
Shall we jump right into news then?
sure, yeah.
Alright. Because there's actually some news this week.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, this first one is a pretty cool thing. It's Crunchyroll and their parent company, Elation, announced that they're gonna start making original content. It's gonna be under the name Crunchyroll Originals. They announced their first series called High Guardian Spice.
And Twitter has already blown up with hate.
Of course.
Of course. Anything Western,
Hmm.
despite, a lot of non-Western stuff being made by
Yeah.
Crunchyroll, like they put a lot into Eurohara, I believe, and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
Western made, like Space Dandy was made in the West first, wasn't it?
Oh, I have no idea.
And they're fine with more seasons of Fooly Cooly.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it might be the art style of the poster. It looks very much more like an American cartoon in
Yeah.
animation style. Like there's something to be said about American Canadian cartoons, and it's that
Hmm.
almost everyone who gets to make them all comes from the same learning studio, which I forget what it's called at the moment.
Hmm.
Cal Arts.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just a Cal Arts art style show. So people are like, it's the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Because there is a very distinct style that almost all Cal Arts grads, well, they're all unique. They all sort of fall into that same style, and Cal Arts grads are pretty much the only people who get to make and lead designing cartoons,
Mhm.
which is a big problem. But that's a Western problem.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the team actually making this.
Hmm.
I
Yeah. I have no idea who any of them are. Yeah.
It is female led, which is cool. Don't see much of that.
Hmm.
Um,
So it's all female writing room, along with a diverse and passionate group of artists and creatives.
Sounds like it could be pretty darn interesting.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to checking this out.
Hmm
And also seeing what kind of other stuff they come up with in the future.
Yeah, and while I say it does look like the Cal Arts thing, I did search this creator up. They graduated from the New York University,
Mhm.
not from Cal Arts.
Oh.
So I mean, it's
Hmm.
just the style looks kind of similar,
Yeah.
but I I can't blame them. Like, if that's the style they want, it does look very similar to like old 80s anime in some ways, which is neat.
Hmm.
It like plays on some of those aesthetics and off-model
Yeah.
traits, which
Yeah.
is kind of similar to the new resurgence in Western cartoons. Have kind of Some of them have more moved that way,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I'm gonna reserve any judgment on whether it's good or bad until it's actually out.
Yeah.
On the idea of making original anime, I think it's good.
Hmm.
whoever, like, making content's always good, giving more people the chance to make. Of course, you don't want to oversaturate and crash an industry, but
Yeah.
I think even if people won't consider anime, just giving
Hmm.
creators who are passionate about wanting to make something work the chance to do that is never really a bad thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
So fuck the
That's
people who
fair.
are all up in harassing people about how bad it is and stuff. And like, we don't need that
Yeah.
negativity in our life. We don't need it in our community.
Yeah.
I
It,
can
it
understand.
bummed me out. It bummed me out that a couple days after they announced this, they, like, the head of Crunchyroll had to put out a statement saying, like, this is just an addition to what we're already doing. This isn't taking away money from anime. We're still doing that. Like, it was so frustrating that, like, oh, there was such a negative response that they had to put out a statement to calm people down. That
Yeah.
sucks. Ugh.
People are fine with Avatar, but they're not fine with High Guardian Spice. And you gotta think some of it's gotta be some racism and sexism in there, because I mean the creator
Hmm.
is Ray Rodriguez,
Yeah.
which
God,
especially with the states right now and their hate,
yeah.
big hate. Oh, one of
Hmm?
the people working on this is the director of Animaniacs.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that before that actually.
That's really cool.
This is probably gonna be wacky then. I would
Yeah.
expect.
God,
That's neat.
I watched the little embedded video they had, and
This
the
show
first recommended video that came up is titled Crunchyroll's High Guardian Spices Low Quality Dribble. Thanks a lot, YouTube.
Wait, is Ray a
Really?
guy?
Right? I don't know.
I don't know. I saw. I don't want to misgender them. I, when I
I,
searched up stuff about them, the
yeah.
art picture and then the name Ray with an E
Hmm.
is usually feminine. I feel bad if I've been misgendering them.
No idea. I don't know, and I don't know how to find out because Ray Rodriguez is not the most unique name.
No, I mean I went to their LinkedIn account, but
Oh, okay.
they refer to themselves only as I in this. So
Yeah.
let's just go with they them right now. 'Cause I
Hmm.
actually don't know.
is about four girls who
Which isn't
live
bad.
in a magical city
Yeah.
and are going
Just to
school
clarify for
become
anyone watching
guardians.
this,
It's
Mhm.
funny
You
and
wanna
it's warm and it's
respect people.
adventurous and they're letting us make
Yeah,
it a little
exactly.
longer, so that's very exciting.
There's an
Oh, it says
authenticity
his
to
production
it
team,
and a
okay.
sincerity
Oh,
that's,
okay.
Okay, I somehow missed that.
heartwarming.
It's a
Okay,
very
Yeah.
so
modern
kids,
reflection
I
of the world.
apologize
Our
for saying
characters are
she earlier and
diverse, our
stuff.
cast is really diverse,
I'd
and
heard
that's
this
one of the
is
things that
mostly a
excited me the most about it.
female-led
People
team,
are really
so
excited about
Mhm.
what the show is and
I
what it
misunderstood
represents.
when I heard that. There's a lot of women on the team, but the main creator is not.
Room is 100%
Yeah.
female. I mean, this is what my whole
We're off to
career
a
has been
great start
about,
right now.
is
Have
trying to
I
put those voices in
already
there
done a
that
boo-boo,
are not
done a
being
bad?
heard.
Oh, that's okay.
It's not
We
like
fixed
anyone
it.
watches this. But yes, apologies.
Yeah.
We got some information wrong and then kind of just had the article up to like show the viewers and didn't actually read it.
Whoops.
Oh, whoops. So, yeah.
So yeah, that's coming in 2019. So it'll be a while still, but looking forward to it.
Mhm.
I bet we'll hear some more about Crunchyroll originals because Crunchyroll Expo is next week. So I bet they'll announce one or two more. I would think.
I wonder how many announcements in general there'll be for like anime and manga stuff.
Yeah, I'm curious. 'Cause it seems like all of the guests that they've been announcing for Crunchyroll Expo have been like, they've got a thing coming out, so they'll have more details on things. So it seems like maybe not new announcements, maybe just details on things. I bet there'll be some announcements though. It's a big enough thing, I think.
Speaking of announcements, I've got a news thing I didn't update on here right away
Oh.
properly. Where the heck did I see it? It's anime announcement. Oh, I just saw that someone died. That was sad. That's not what I was looking for.
Hmm.
There is an anime that just got announced. I'm trying to remember its name.
Mm,
We Never Learn. We Never Learn
Oh.
announced they're getting an anime adaptation. It is a shonen comedy harem series.
Mm-hmm.
That I've heard a lot of good things about. A lot of people think it's funny. It does pretty well in the standings. It's got
Mhm.
cute girls, but it is a cam comedy, so.
Mm-hmm.
I am assuming they're going to announce manga release for this as well, because currently it's being released in digital in English as part of the Weekly Shonen Jump like magazine you can get.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they'll announce physical releases of that since they have it translated already and to tie in with the anime. But that'll probably come soon. I don't know. I've heard great things about this. I think I read like chapter 1 and 2 ages ago and it seemed pretty funny.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's probably going to be really trashy because I didn't get that far in, and it is a harem, so
Yeah.
if you want a harem show to argue about who's best girl for the season, this is going to be the one. This is
Mhm.
going to be the new Nisekoi. This is going to be the new... I can't say the new Oremo because that was Manga Sensei. And
Yeah.
then we had a Little Sisters All You Need, which was a total bait out where there was no little sister. Except imaginary ones. And one who didn't know was a little sister. It's convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
I still wish that series didn't pretend to be deeper than it was. But it was based on light novels, so maybe it is deeper in the light novels farther in. But anyways,
I could say.
it's being directed by the director of Love Hina, so if you like those trashy harem shows, this is it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So then we have the other announcement.
Yeah. Got one last thing that Twitch Presents is going to do a 10-month-long Pokemon marathon. Is there apparently? Yeah.
The page almost redirected me when I pulled it up.
Oh,
We
yeah.
would have gotten muted so fast if we had Pokemon content. That was scary.
Oh. But yeah, they're doing Pokemon for 10 months, which is quite a thing.
19 seasons, 932 episodes, in 16
And 16
movies.
movies. Yeah.
Ooh, and they have different languages too. They don't have Japanese though. Why? Wait, what?
Well, they would probably have to do stuff with streaming rights for Japan, and that's probably very complicated, I bet.
Would you? Some people just... Unless if it means, like, subs. Like, these are English subs, French subs, German subs. If it's dub, I'm a bit more confused, but... Because I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess, yeah,
Nope, it
streaming
is-
issues.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the dub. I just turned it on for
God.
a couple seconds.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I could see there being issues with Japanese streaming rights because I believe most streaming rights there go to like Nico, Doga, or whatever, and they have like it might have issues with some of their licensing stuff, and they have all
Yeah.
kinds of crazy
Mhm.
stuff. So
So yeah, if you like Pokemon for the next 10 months, still funny to me.
932 episodes.
Oh, that is too much.
I think it's like 13 episodes a day or something they're doing.
Yeah, it's every Mondays. They're doing some number of episodes each Monday, and then
Yikes.
repeating it later in the week.
So stream the first round of episodes every Monday through Thursday, so straight from
Mhm.
Monday to Thursday, and then reruns on Friday and Saturday.
Hmm.
That's more days than there would be reruns. Maybe they mean Monday and Thursday, not Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Then every Sunday has a movie. Man, how much are they paying the Pokemon Company for this?
Who knows? That's wild.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that Twitch just like streams this stuff now.
Yeah, I'm sad it didn't make it to a full year. Almost. We'll check back in 10 months. We'll remember to do an episode where we talk about the end.
Yeah.
There's got to be some announcement at the end of this. There's got to be.
Yeah. Maybe. I was gonna try and think of a fake
They've
announcement. But I
no,
don't know.
they've been talking about a new mainline Pokemon game coming to Switch.
Oh yeah.
If we
oh
have
yeah,
to
that's,
wait-
that's announced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, that might be the release date. 10 months seems a bit close, though, with
Mm,
Eevee. That might be when they announce, like, the details and its release date.
yeah.
I could see them putting that at the end.
Yeah. That would make sense.
That's such a ways off, though. God.
Yeah.
10 months.
That's a lot.
Yeah, because I thought they were saying that Pokemon game would come in 2018 still, but 10 months is not in 2018 anymore.
No. There's only 4 months of 2018 left.
It's pretty funny too. This is on the Twitch Presents channel, which always does different
Mhm.
events. They can't use that channel for 10 months now. They can't use Twitch Presents 2 either. If they want to present something, they
Yeah.
can't. No other marathons.
hmm
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think that does it for news.
yeah. So then, did you
Yeah,
get to watch much or read much this week, or play much anime-adjacent games?
I watched and read kind of a lot this week, actually.
Same.
Yeah. First off, Hanabado and Haru Kanna Receive. I'm still watching those, and I kind of don't have anything new to say about them. You know, Hanabado is still good. It's got the
I'm so-
demon child.
I'm sorry, you can't talk about it because of me.
Uh,
I'm so
That's
bad
okay.
at this. I'm so bad at staying caught up on currently airing stuff
yeah. Yeah.
and finishing stuff.
It's- Yeah, Hanabado is getting to an exciting point, I think, story-wise. Because, like, for a while it was just badminton, which, like, is good. It was really good animation. It's fun to watch, but also, like, they weren't really advancing character arcs at all. But now they're doing some exciting stuff.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
There's only 4 episodes left.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're already 9 weeks into this season.
I know, it's wild.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, and then also How I Kind of Receive, the other thing, the only other current season show I'm keeping up with. Which, if you just want a nice, lighthearted, positive thing, that's a fun show. I don't know. This episode got a little bit more serious, but it's a good thing. Yeah, I kind of nothing really to say about that one though.
I'm all about
It's just-
cute girls in sports.
Yeah. You should try watching that one. It's good. I think you might like it. Just it's like a chill thing.
I've been meaning to. I did pick up the manga, which I am
Yeah.
partly into the first volume, but I have
Oh,
so
yeah.
much manga. You're gonna cringe when you hear how much I've read this week.
Oh boy. Yeah. I also watched a couple other shows. I started watching Encouragement of Climb Season 2. Which
Sorry, what?
is Encouragement of Climb
Oh, okay.
Season 2. Yeah.
I always call it Yamano Susume, so it always takes me a
Oh,
second.
yeah.
Like, wait.
Yeah. So yeah. It's okay so far. I only watched the first like 5 or 6 episodes. I don't know. It's okay. Like when they're actually doing non-climbing stuff, it's good.
Mhm.
But then they spent 2 episodes not doing anything related to mountain climbing, and it was bad.
No, I
Like,
like the
'cause-
cute stuff.
But one of them was just like a hot spring episode, and like I don't
Oh.
want to watch 13-year-olds take baths. I don't know. That's just me.
There's another one in the new season.
Yeah. Oh,
just,
great.
just briefly, it's not a full episode. Did you
Yeah.
watch the OVA in between the first and second season?
Oh yeah, I did watch that one too.
The 5-minute OVA. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
getting into real episodes. I love the
Mhm.
animation style. Like the animation's really high quality for a 15-minute show.
yeah. It is. It's good. Yeah, and so yeah, I'm probably gonna get some more of that watched. I didn't know it was 24 episodes in that season. I thought it was only like 12 or 13 again. But
No, it ends up being a full 13 episode season's worth of content, but just spaced out twice as long. which I think probably helped them do like the quality animation they had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pace yourself.
Yeah. Then another short show that I watched this week was Inferno Cop,
Oh,
which that was a thing.
first season or second or both?
First season. I didn't know there was a second.
Apparently, is it even out yet?
Who knows? I haven't heard
Oh
of
no,
it
it's
being
not out yet. But
okay.
it's been announced.
Okay.
Anime Next. Okay. Yeah,
Huh.
I was a bit surprised by seeing a listing for a second one.
Yeah.
What an anime!
Yeah, it's a thing.
Trigger, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I honestly didn't like it very much. Like, a lot of the jokes just didn't really land with me.
It's very much like absurdity. That's a random humor,
Yeah.
and
Like,
just
I'm usually into that kind of stuff, but it just missed it a lot with me. I don't know.
I think I really enjoyed it a lot because the first
Mhm.
time I watched it all was with friends.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those shows that's a good like with friends, just like
Yeah.
laughing about how absurd it is kind of show.
Yeah. That's good. That does seem like the best way to watch it is with people.
Popcorny shit talking.
Yeah. Kinda. So, yeah. It actually, I didn't realize that animation style, or that it was animated in the way it is, of where it's just like everything is still, and it just kind of wiggles around on screen.
That's part of what
Because-
makes it so good, though.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that, because I've seen Ninja Slayer, one of their other smaller shows, and that has like the same animation style, with some actually properly animated bits in between. But I didn't realize that they had like done another show that was entirely the still images. So it's an interesting thing. Ninja Slayer. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Ninja Slayer is good. If you haven't watched it, it's good absurd humor.
I've meant to. Haven't gotten around to it yet. There's a
Yeah.
Anime Expo special episode of Inferno Cop, sort of.
Mhm.
You can find footage of it. They tried to make sure no footage got out. There's like one video up, and it cuts off near the end, and I'm so upset I can't see the end of it. But it's fantastic. They pretty much have Lot from Little Witch at the end it by singing the national anthem, but all she's singing is, "We are so great, America's so great," because she's in Little Witch, she's Finnish. She's not even American.
Yeah.
It's just like this weird absurdist thing where like Inferno Cop gets like attacked by Trump and stuff, and it's just
Oh jeez.
it's so good.
Weird.
It's like what's that band that has "Have a Nice Day"? The song New World Order or First World Order or something.
Oh yeah.
And,
World Order. Yeah.
yeah, and there's a song "Let's Start World War III." It feels a lot like that in like
Yeah.
tone,
Yeah.
which is such a good song.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. The next thing I watched was a Calamity of a Zombie Girl.
Oh, you got around to it.
Yeah.
What did you
It was-
think?
I was prepared for the worst after you talked about it the other week, and I don't know, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
It was like, it reminded me a lot of like B-movie horror things.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a schlocky B horror movie. That's exactly it.
Yeah. But it was weird because like there were all these like horror tropes, and they're like, oh, you've got all the teenagers alone in this place, in this forest, and there's a killer killing them. But then it was like they didn't totally commit to those tropes, because then it's like, oh, the killer is actually good and not just an evil thing. I don't know. It was odd. It was interesting.
How did you feel about the karate girl who's like, I can take this
Oh.
immortal, and just runs off into the woods after her to die? Like,
She was fun. She
there-
was good.
There's some scenes that are just so awkwardly bad, and then some of the best scenes, just like, which one's the real one? She just throws the shard of glass. I guess that's the real one. It's like, wait,
Oh,
oh fuck.
yeah.
It's so over the top and dumb. I love it. The
Yeah.
basketball.
Oh yeah, the basketball. It was good.
God, I fucking hate this movie, but love it at the same time. That's exactly
Yeah.
how you should feel about a B-horror movie, and I think,
Mhm.
it excels so much at that. It's what makes
Mhm.
it great.
Yeah. It's just like a dumb fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then speaking of dumb fun things, I also watched a thing called Ai Sekai no Chushin Day, which is the the one the like first line of the synopsis kind of should be why I watched it, because it's like Sega and Nintendo made into a medieval fantasy empires that are at war. It's very silly.
Wow.
Yeah, but this anime is garbage. It's awful.
It has a higher rating than Calamity of a Zombie Girl.
Yeah,
5.5. Wow.
ugh, it's not good. Cause like the characters are all supposed to be references to like Sega and Nintendo characters, and most of the Sega characters are like things you've never heard of, unless you know of like the game Columns.
That's because Sega died. No one heard of it. It's trash. Or all of it
Yeah.
came out in Japan too. Like these are the games that are popular in Japan, not the West.
Yeah,
too.
that's probably part of it. But it was like, oh, here's a character named after someone in Phantasy Star 2. Which is like, that's not like,
Fantasy
okay.
Star 2 was out that long ago? That's what has me most surprised. 'Cause
Yeah.
This is from oh no, this is from 2012. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
wait,
this is-
the animation picture made me think it was like early 2000s.
Oh, no.
Wha-
Oh, yeah. Because, yeah, this is all about the like, early 90s stuff that happened.
Okay, so that would make sense
Yeah.
why the style's like that.
Hmm. But, yeah, it's bad. I didn't like it at all, and
I'm
it's only
intrigued.
three episodes, and, like, it ends at such a weird place.
How did they make something with Nintendo, even if it's Ninturdo and just a parody that's rated
Yeah.
R plus?
Because it's a premiere, dude. They don't need anything from Nintendo. They can just do it. Yeah. Ugh. If you have an extra hour and hate yourself, you maybe watch it, but it's ugh.
Alright,
isn't
I'm
good.
in.
All right. And then the last thing I watched this week was I saw that Fooly Cooly Progressive is up on the Adult Swim site to stream it.
Is that
The,
first
the English
new
dub.
season?
Yeah, the first new season. The second new season premieres in like September. I think.
Alternative. But they already showed the
October?
first episode of Alternative for some reason.
Oh right, they showed that on like April 1st.
I don't.
It's so dumb. But yeah.
Yeah, the new seasons have a very middling 6.99 score.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, it's weird because I kind of like it, but also it's something that like shouldn't exist. Like Fooly Cooly didn't need a sequel. It's like one of the least necessary sequels I can think of, and it feels like they just made a checklist of like things people liked in the first season and then did more of that. And it's like, oh, they have, people with guitars hitting alien robots, and a bunch of nonsense and a lot of style, and the pillows to the soundtrack, and teenagers with things growing out of their forehead. And, like, it just checks all these boxes, and it was like entertaining and stylish, and I like the music, but also this doesn't need to exist. It just makes me wonder what they're going to even do with the third season.
I feel like this is basically just someone wrote fan fiction for it and wanted it made into anime. That's what it sounds like. It's just it's not a new season. It's just fan fiction.
I don't know if I would call it fan fiction, but it's like someone at Adult Swim or whatever was like, oh, I really liked Fooly Cooly, make another one of those, and just gave them a pile of money. They're like, okay, and they just did the same thing again, because it is largely the same thing.
There's so many things that need a new season. Why would you not make that money into giving Berserk a proper 2D animated season? Put that money into making the bears real. God.
Yeah.
There's just so many other things I could see might be
Yeah.
put into, other than another season of something that's already been wrapped up.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess I'll watch Alternative when that one comes out.
It's
And
only
that'll
6
probably,
episodes.
yeah, I bet it'll be basically the same thing again, and it'll be equally mediocre. But yeah, that's all the stuff I watched. I did do a little bit of reading because I got a new box of manga order in. But I finished reading the Battle Angel Alita volumes that I have because I have the first 3 of those hardcovers, which is the first 5 or 6 volumes of the manga, I think. Oh, that series is just really good. Because there's like this very big change in Alita that is, I like didn't notice it the first time I read it, but it was like she like has to leave the city that she was in, and it's like there's just such a stark change in the character that it's so good. Like I don't want to spoil stuff because I think it's a really good series that people should check out. But yeah, now I regret not buying the 4th volume when I ordered stuff because I should have done that. Yeah, and then
I actually heard something about this Alita. I heard they're putting out box sets for it.
Oh yeah, probably.
That they're just not like advertising that they're doing it, which seems weird.
Oh yeah, I saw a thing about there's going to be a box set of some kind of all of the hardcovers.
Yeah, I've pulled it up on the Indigo site. $200.
That's a lot.
But also each hardcover is like that's 200 Canadian, mind you.
Yeah, and I think that might be right for like if you bought all of them individually, because I think it's 5 hardcovers total, maybe 6.
They're $40 each.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
Be a nice box. I don't see the box. It's only showing the first page. When does this come out? November 6th. So that's actually pretty soon.
Yeah.
It might be when the last volume comes out, actually.
Yeah, I think that is. I have this written down here.
I might just buy this if I buy into it. It's easy.
Yeah, like if you're interested in it, you should. Yeah, like maybe read a few chapters online first just to make sure you actually like it, and then buy the box set.
I wonder if they're gonna start doing last order afterwards.
I mean, I think it's like still actively being released in omnibuses.
Possibly, but I could see them going back and putting them on hardcovers as well. I know Full Metal Alchemist has started releasing their volumes again because they did the single volumes and they did the omnibus. Now they're going back and doing single volumes again, but on hardcovers, and they're really nice hardcovers. I'm kind of glad I never bought it because I thought of buying like the box set that comes with all 27 volumes, and now I'm like, do I buy 27 volumes at $30 each? Maybe, because those are nice. Oof.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. You try to get them on sale cheap is the goal, but
yeah,
I really like nice hardcover releases.
Yeah, and the Battle Angel Alita hardcovers are very nice.
Yeah,
it's very good quality.
I'm glad we're starting to see more different types of releases. Like it's not all just the same single volume small. Like we're getting different sizes. We're getting different size omnibus. We're starting to get box sets. We're getting hardcover box sets like the Utena one, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like Seven Seas put out the hardcover light novel for Lotus War, which is like the black with the like gold enamel. Like companies are stepping up their games in like the quality of their releases, and it's nice.
Yeah, it's good. It means there's a thriving economy going on. A thriving industry. That's what I was thinking.
And Tokyo Pop is back to ruin it.
Great. Fantastic.
I got to exchange my volumes, so I'll hopefully make that video this week.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah. And another thing I read volume 3 of Magical Girl Spec Ops, which is. It's funny, when I was reading this, I thought, like, oh, this would be a really good anime. Someone should make this into an anime. And then I realized, oh, right, that got announced.
Yeah. I cannot find this. Wait, I searched up Magical Spec Ops and it only showed me anime. But not the right anime. There's so many magical girl anime that start with magical girl or whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I really hope that the anime ends up being good, because as a manga, it really feels like someone was storyboarding out an anime. Like, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm hoping that the anime ends up being good.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I've heard a lot of people say the same thing about Made in Abyss, how it feels like it's plans for a video game and not a story
Mhm.
itself,
Yeah,
which I could see.
yeah. So, yeah, that series is good. I like it. It's very gory at times, but it's good.
It's been on my list for a long time. One day I'll read it.
Someday. Yeah, and then I also read Colosseum. I picked up the first one of this on a whim because it looked wild, and it is wild.
How the heck is that spelled?
Golosseum.
Right. I was trying to remember how it's spelled to bring it up is terrible because it's like
Yeah.
Colosseum? Colosseum.
Yeah, it's a weird title. But yeah, it was okay. The first line, this is okay. It's because they spend a lot of time of the book explaining like how their weird magic thing that makes guns not work. They spend a lot of time explaining like why that works and how it works and all these like caveats of like, oh, there can be no, if you're wearing this bracelet, this magic bracelet, you can't have any harm done to you except for skin to skin contact, so then you can shake hands, or if you hit the ground, because otherwise the Earth's core would explode or whatever. And like, oh, also it reverses aging and makes you really strong and fit, and here's why that works. And like, just so much time was devoted to explaining it all. It's like, I don't need you to do this. I can just go with it, and you can explain it later. But so it ends up having like not as much happening as you would want in the first volume, but it was still a fun read. I think I'm gonna keep up with this one.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before. Before you brought it up, I kind of want to pick up. It's only 6 volumes total, so it's not like a huge investment, and it sounds
Yeah.
absolutely wild.
Yeah, it really is. It's the I don't know, there's one like, kind of reservation about it, is that it is parodying some people pretty directly, because there's like Putin is, there's like a fake Putin who is the president of Russia, and he invented this, and is like such an exaggeration of actual Putin. And then there's like
Is he really? Putin's a pretty big exaggeration of Putin at times.
oh yeah, it's even more so.
Oh god.
Yeah. It's like, but yeah, then there's also like, there's a Hulk Hogan character, and it's like, I hope they do those parodies well, because it's really easy to make a parody of something that ends up not parodying it very well and just seeming like it's supportive of that thing.
The
You know what I mean?
the unstoppable Axe Bogan and American President Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Wait, is it
Hillary?
supposed to be Hillary Clinton or is it Bill Clinton?
Yeah. It's Hillary.
It's Hillary. Oh, it's
Yeah.
not even Bill
Yeah.
because it's Hillary.
Yeah.
What a name. That's almost as good as Floozy Bluesy.
That's very good.
It's still the best American name I've ever heard in an anime.
Yeah. But yeah, the second volume of this is apparently already out, so I'm gonna check that out. And since it's only 6, I'll probably just get all of them eventually. But it's interesting. Another thing that's interesting is Murcielago, which I picked up after hearing you talk about it so much.
The first volume starts a little slow, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The murder
kinda.
party's great, but the very first
Yeah.
arc with the wrestler.
Oh yeah, the wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, it was okay. Like, I don't know what I expect coming in, but
It's just
Yeah.
over the top rule of cool, blood and gore and lesbians. That's. But it does have content, which heavy content warning.
yeah.
I have
very
to
much
say it
so.
every time I bring it up. Super heavy content warning for pretty much everything you could have problems with, like literally.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with something that you
It's
find
probably in there
morally
somewhere.
wrong, yeah.
Yeah. This is one of those manga that when you get it, it comes sealed in plastic, so you can't flip through the pages at the store. That's the kind of manga it is.
Well, no, I mean like,
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah, I know
like
what you mean.
sexual stuff too.
Yes. That is why it would be wrapped in plastic.
well, I mean sexual violence and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I can
Yes.
start listing off
No, it's
the
okay.
warnings I have in my head, and
It's okay.
yeah,
You don't have to.
I just don't want people to be surprised by it and be like, oh, this
Yeah.
really made me upset, because it can and it will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing I picked up after you recommended it was Voynich Hotel.
Ooh.
I only read the first couple chapters of it, which is like maybe a third of it.
There's so
volume one.
many chapters per.
Yeah.
Well, 68 chapters over 3 volumes.
Yeah, that was the thing. When I flipped it open, saw the table of contents, there was like 20 something chapters. I'm like, what? Why is every chapter only a couple pages? But it makes sense. Everything's its own little story.
It was awful waiting for chapters to come out, because it's like,
Oh,
I think each chapter is also like a day.
yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good so far. I like it from the little bit I've read. Yeah, it's good. I like the art style.
Atlanta's so good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's funny, the art style, and specifically on the two maids, it actually kind of reminds me of the art style of the Jing manga. So it seems like a similar style of drawing, at least for their clothing. Like these very like sharp, angular lines on cloth. I don't know, it was just an interesting thing that I noticed.
Now that you
Although-
mention it,
Yeah.
it is kind of. They're both very, like, high. Like, both of those series are very highly stylized, and both take some gothic, like,
Yeah.
aesthetic works. So I can definitely see that.
Yeah. I will say that image on now on the Jing page is like not very representative of
Yeah.
actual thing.
You've shown me some of the manga pages before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I find
Yeah.
with Domin Saman, the creator of this,
Mhm.
I can tell 100% when I see art if it's his.
Yeah.
I saw some of his art on Tumblr, and apparently he has the Tumblr account, and I was just like, wait,
Oh.
I know that.
Cool.
Also, warning for Domin Saman, though, if you're getting into his stuff, a lot of his other series has weird sex stuff in it, too. The guy is weird.
Yeah.
He,
So yeah.
he has a anthology series, and the first chapter is about a trans kid who isn't accepted, and so they want to commit suicide, and they attempt to, but there's also this whole weird side plot about how they were born during the Columbine shooting, and their parents said you could be one of their souls reborn, and how, because everyone hates them, they're not sure if their mom meant one of the people killed or one of the murderers. And it's like this is weird. Like, that's Domin Saman. Like, he does some really weird controversial stuff, so I do want to put that warning out there if you're looking to get into other stuff. Voynich Hotel is mostly safe.
Yeah.
From my memory.
Yeah. So yeah. That's all the stuff I've checked out this week. I didn't play any anime adjacent video games because video games are bad.
They are. I did play an anime adjacent video game and it got bad. So
Oh.
yeah, I was playing I Am Setsuna, and I haven't had to grind at all. I haven't had any problems with any bosses. I got to one that one shot my first, like, a party member before I can start even turns, and it's impossible. I can't do it. I searched up how to beat it, and it's like, oh yeah, I had no trouble. I was 10 levels higher than you and had all these things which you can only get from grinding, which I didn't realize. Your skills you get through certain items. I didn't realize you can miss some because they're only dropped by specific enemies that are only in certain areas that you might not see again for a while. So there's things I just can't get unless if I go back half the game and then, like, grind it. Like, you're not guaranteed to even get one in one pass through the dungeon. Like, you have to do 2 or 3 every dungeon just to make sure, and then you'd be at a decent level. You'd have no problems with any of the bosses until you get to this one boss. It'd be your first challenge. So I have to grind like 10 levels and go back a bunch to possibly grind for skills, which is a huge pain. But there's a new character introduced who's really cute and I love, but I have a new OT3, but it doesn't matter because I'm not playing that game again for a while because I don't want to grind right now. So I'm just like, we're putting this down for now. But
It's
Yeah,
understandable.
yeah, it was just so jarring, this huge difficulty curve out of
Mhm.
nowhere. I was like, alright, I guess. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what to do now. Like,
Mhm.
it was, yeah, it was jarring, and it's pretty bad game design, I think, because if you have no need to grind, you beat most every boss first try, and you get to one that you can't do, even trying like 10 times with different party combinations. It's like,
Mhm.
that's too much of a jump up in difficulty.
Yeah.
And then the
It's,
enemies there don't even give you a lot of experience, so it takes forever to grind.
oh,
It's like,
that's bad.
yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's a thing.
Mhm.
Anyways, as for anime, oh,
Yeah.
didn't mean to open that. I actually watched some this week, as you know. I told you about some.
Yeah.
You mentioned Yamano Susume earlier. I watched the newest episode of the third
Mhm.
season. Their faces are back on model, and they're not all staring up at the sky like last episode. Thank God. I still don't know what was up with that, but
Yeah. It was weird.
I don't know if I like the direction they're going. They're making it really angsty for some reason. I don't know why, and I don't like it.
Mm.
Also, Kaede barely shows up this season. I'm upset because I like Kaede.
Oh, she's the oldest one, right? The
Yeah,
tall
give
one?
me more Kaede.
Yeah.
She's just studying for exams the whole time. It's like, come on,
Oh,
give me
I
more
guess that,
Kaede.
I guess that makes sense, but she's also the best. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
my favorites are Honoka and Kaede, and you won't have met Honoka yet.
Mhm.
There's been a lot more Honoka though, which is nice. But
Mm.
and her brother, who's the Eurobeat nerd. The yeah. Besides that, I watched the Asegao to Kase-san movie, and I had thoughts about this.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I posted them on Pillow Fort. I think it's a decent movie.
Mhm.
It's very pretty. The music's very nice. The animation's very nice. The voice acting is superb. But it's a terrible adaptation.
Mhm.
Um, I think it should be a 15-minute episode season, a full season. And I think skipping the first volume where like it shows them fall for each other and why they like each other was a huge detriment to it, because unless if you read the manga, you're not going to be invested in this relationship, because
Mhm.
they skip all the part of setting it up. They skip almost all the parts of them actually liking each other, and almost every scene it shows is just them not on the same page, being like miserable. I'm like, that's not what this manga's about. This manga's really cute, and yes, it has angst in it, but it's about getting through the angst through like caring about each other. But that's not how this movie feels like. It feels like it's like getting through the angst to continue getting through angst. Like, if I
Yeah.
wanted to watch an angsty Yuri, I would watch Citrus, I'd watch NTR, I'd watch Sasameki Koto, I'd watch Aihana, like, pretty much every Yuri anime out there is
Mhm.
angsty. It's not anything special. I think if they'd stayed true to, like, the focus of the, original manga, it would have been
Mhm.
something a lot more closer to, like, My First Love Story. It would be
Yeah.
the Yuri version of My First Love Story, and I think that's something we need in the genre, because you don't see anything like that. The only really cutesy stuff that's not angsty is like Yuri, and God, what's it called? Uh, the one that's like kind of smutty, but also just them making out all the time. It's a comedy.
Is it the dog and cat one?
Talking cat? No, no, that's
No.
actually
Oh.
pretty. But that's another good example. They're all
Yeah.
gags. They're all like comedy
Mhm.
gags. Like, there's no just cute Yashike style Yuri.
Mhm.
Which this could have been, and it would have been fantastic, but like it's not what I wanted. It's
Yeah.
not what it doesn't capture what the manga to me is, and to me it's just a really bad adaptation of the source material. They missed
Mhm.
the point completely, which is really disappointing, because I was really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I like set it up, I like got all snug in bed, I comfed up, I was ready to watch, and the longer it went on, the more I just felt like I kind of want to turn this off. Like,
Oof. Wow.
that's how disappointing it was.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you love the manga, don't go into thinking it's an adaptation of the manga. Just go into it thinking it's some random Angst film because
Mhm.
they never build up the relationship at all. They never show them actually caring, like that they care about each other or why. They leave some plot points undeveloped too that make it seem like Kase's still cheating at the end. It's like, why this?
Yeah.
Sorry, someone just came in and is like trying to make me sell stuff on Kijiji. What timing?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, where the heck was I? I don't know. Moving on, I actually looked at Amazon because I was gonna watch Princess Principal. And I found out I was on
Yeah.
High Dive and I was like, screw that. But I found on Amazon an anime when I was at the convention. I had
Mhm.
mentioned the soundtrack panel. This was one of the ones I saw there, and I was like, oh, this soundtrack's amazing. This looks amazing. Why haven't I heard of it? It's on Amazon.
Well.
But it's called Onihei, and it
Mhm.
is a samurai timepiece, historical seinen about a guy who is he is the chief officer protecting against crime and arson. So it's him dealing with bands of thieves and stuff. I only watched the first episode because it's very dark. It's very weird. It's very very stylized. The soundtrack is fantastic. There's some really cool jazz stuff in there. But one of the other main characters in that first episode was like a criminal who was a thief who got thrown out of his original band of thieves because he tried to rape a woman. So I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this guy being a main character.
Mm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
he'll continue to be or not because it seems like it's focused more on the other guy, not on him. Just the first episode was kind of on him. But I feel like the episode was trying to go for a message of like, how do I explain this? It was trying to go for a message of like people can change because like he was one of his thieves group who had always taught like the rules of being an honorable thief, like never murder, never rape, none of this. And so after being thrown out, he starts to follow those more closely, and he like dedicates his life to them. And then when he's
Mhm.
caught by this other guy, they start hearing about murders being done in the name of this guy who had kicked him out and had taught him all this. So he then goes to like see if like hunt down the fake guy because he doesn't want him besmirching his name. But he finds out the fake guy was the real guy and he had changed too. And it's kind of like
Mhm.
that. The worst people I kind of can still be people we once looked up to kind of message, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the character will probably pop up again, but I don't think he's the main. I think he's just gonna be like a side supporting who shows up maybe once or twice more. But if you like samurai stuff, I'd highly recommend this. It's very cool. Just be warned, there is content like that in here.
Mhm.
It's not. They don't show it. You kind of see him like he's recounting. He says he made a mistake, and you just kind of see him holding like a woman by the shoulders, heads up, and still clothed, and like in the middle of a thief, and the other guy pulls him off. So it's like it doesn't graphically show it, but that content is in there. So, but yeah,
Mhm.
fantastic soundtrack. It was kind of weird, so I'll probably check on another episode too of that. I had a lot of problems watching it because I had pixel tearing on my monitor, which happens.
Oh.
It happened a lot when things are darker, and there's a lot of dark scenes in that first episode.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, there's also torture in like the first 5 minutes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but so, yeah, that was cool. And then I found out Princess Principal was on High Dive instead, so I watched it there instead. I did
Nice.
see Happy Sugar Life is out for Canadians now, though, so I can watch it.
Oh.
I'm excited. But yeah, after watching Onihei, I binge watched like 4 episodes of Princess Principal because I couldn't sleep, and
Mhm.
Like, watching from, like, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, just watching anime is something I used to do back when we had, like, Jetix on YTV or whatever. Where the heck
Yeah.
they called the thing where they'd have their anime. And it's always a Saturday night, which is when I watch it. So I'd stay up as late as I could watching all the new anime. And it felt so nostalgic and great just laying in bed watching Princess Principal, sleep
Mhm.
deprived and, like, exhausted but unable to sleep. And it was like, that probably suspended a lot of my disbelief for stuff, but I was just, like, able to just sit back and be like, this is so dumb and fun. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And unfortunately, I was spoiled for one of the biggest twists right at the end. But I'm
Oh.
not too upset because I've been catching all sorts of constant foreshadowing towards it that I probably wouldn't have
Mhm.
otherwise, which is
Yeah.
neat.
That's cool.
I don't really want to spoil stuff.
Yeah.
Those who haven't seen it, though it's been out long enough. But basically, the changeling that's
Yeah.
revealed at the end,
Oh,
because
man.
they play up to it so much, and then it's just like a red herring, and then at the end I know what happens. But
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a bummer they got spoiled on it, though. I think
yeah,
I think this is a very good. It's like a really good reveal.
yeah, I'm still excited to see it. I don't mind stuff being spoiled
Mhm.
before I get to it if they still do it well.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna talk about that with Alderman as well.
Yeah.
Not just spoils, but like Gun Girl Online, I could figure out by like the third episode who Pito actually was, but they had
Mhm.
like a nice little twist at the end right before revealing that threw me off for like a good, like, not a lot of time, but like just enough to be like, wait a second, really? It's not? And then it's like, oh wait, no, it is. And it's like it just made it more memorable, and the fact that it's still able to throw me off like that was I think a testament to how well it was written, despite it being an obvious conclusion.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, so Princess Principal is fantastic. I'm probably gonna watch more of it this Saturday. I have a
Yeah.
long weekend, so
Oh, nice.
this might be my
Yeah.
weekend
Oh.
fun binge anime.
One thing I'll say is in the middle, that show kind of like meanders a bit, where it doesn't really do any main plot stuff for a while, but then it gets back into it later.
Kind
But
of
yeah,
fun.
for a while. Yeah, for a while there, it's just like, here's random missions where they go do stuff. But it's good. It's very good. It's fun to see.
Yeah. I mean, I loved the first episode that wasn't really plot reliant. Like, that's
Mhm.
such a good episode. In just establishing it without establishing anything.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode of Princess Principal is everything I wanted Joker game to be, which is kind of sad, but
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It's a really good show. Oh, it's so good.
The animation's fantastic. The soundtrack's fantastic in this too.
Yeah.
The
It's very
art,
good.
direction, everything's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all the stuff I watched. We're gonna get into
Mhm.
manga now, and
Yeah.
I think I read about 110 chapters.
Wow.
35 of which were yesterday.
Nice.
All right. So let me go find where was 19th was last episode. Let me go see where did I start.
The 20th was last episode.
Yeah, but I don't think I read anything on the 20th. I didn't. So yeah.
Yeah.
I got volume 11 of Fire Force, which actually
Mhm.
passed where I had been reading online. So I'm finally reading new stuff, which is really cool. So I read 4 chapters of that.
Mhm.
Excited to get back into it. I love Atsushi Okubo's work. Interesting still to see where it goes. I binged so much of it when it first came out, I kind of burned out.
Yeah.
So taking that break was nice, and it's nice to get back into it. I also got the first volume of Kimitsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer, which is getting an anime next year. And
Oh, yeah.
it's very shonen, but it's really fun. This kid's family is murdered by demons. His sister becomes a demon. He becomes a demon slayer, and he's trying to find a way to cure her. She is fantastic, though. She just walks around with like a wooden bit gag in her mouth so she doesn't bite people, and just like kicks demons' heads off their bodies and they go flying. It's like
Nice.
demons are also afraid of the sun because it kills them. So it's just like scenes of her like uh, in a cave digging a hole to hide in it, and she's super cute though, and it's like, oh,
Mm.
uh, I think it's fun. I read the second volume online to see more if it continued being good, and I wanted to keep picking it up. And I don't know how much I feel about where it's going, but I think it's still very
Oh.
good, so I'll probably be picking up the volumes.
Hmm.
There's like 110 chapters out already, so
Oh wow.
yeah, it's kind of long going. And then I also got the first volume of Anonymous Noise. I've been meaning to pick up some more shoujo for a while, and it's already super convoluted. One volume in, it's yikes. But I love music series. I don't love all shoujo series, but I love music series, and I want more shoujo, so I figured this would be a good one for me. And it's interesting. The plot's the setup's interesting, so I'll probably be picking up more of that slowly. I read more Goblin is very strong, or Goblin is very gay, because she continues to be very gay. We are going to talk about chapter 15. It doesn't exist. It's Jesus Christ. It was so different from the rest of the series, and so much fan service. I was like, what just happened?
Oh.
That chapter is not okay, but we'll pretend that doesn't exist. So yeah, I read like probably about 6 chapters of that. 15 doesn't exist. I picked up volumes 2 and 3 of Kigurumi Guardians, which I'd read ages ago and was super. It has a super weird, bizarre plot line. It's by Lily Hoshino, who has done stuff like has worked on Penguin Drum and stuff.
Hmm.
I think they had another series that was like kind of over the top, like that. But they've worked on like Arakawa, Under the Bridge, Penguin Drum, Otome Yoka, Zakuro stuff. But yeah, it's this really over the top weird concept with like Kigurumis that when you kiss turn into hot men. And they're fighting these demon women that are hot and are stealing people's like hearts, and it's very it's like a shonen mixed with a shoujo. It's hard to tell, but yeah, I picked up volumes 2 and 3. It looks like volume 4 isn't coming out for like until 2019 or 2020, because I guess the creator's working on other stuff too. But I'm kind of glad of that, because it means I can just pick up now and then not worry about buying more volumes of it for a while, so I can focus on other series. But I read volume 2. It's still interesting. Still have to read volume 3, but yeah, it's weird, interesting. I read the second half of Madarumi-chan Ga Iku and finished that off. That's the gag manga of the girl with the horns by Namo, who is the creator of Okami Shonen. Just really cute. Really, really cute. The shark episode is amazing. Yeah, just cute slice of life. If you like that kind of stuff, check it out. Like this complete. I started comfing up and reading my Eurocamp volumes
Nice.
that I got at the con. So I've read the first 2 volumes of that now. I read them both. And I need to pick up volume 3. I love Eurocamp. I think the manga's honestly paced better than the anime too. You miss some stuff in the anime, or like the anime has them pretending to be like a hammock and stuff, or like pretending to be a tent, which is cute, but that's like some of the more meandering parts are cut out, which I kind of like. It's just a lot more laid back, though there's a lot of dialogue about camping stuff. But it's very comfy, and I love the art. There are 2 new chapters of Catullus Syndrome, which I read and caught up on, and the 2 new episodes I regret reading because they introduce a new character, which there's already too many new characters and they haven't developed the old ones enough, and then they throw in a really generic plot twist, which yeah, I don't like where it's going. I don't like where it's going at all, which sucks because it started off, it could have been really cute between the 2 main girls, and then the 3rd girl was okay, but now there's too many girls and bad generic plot lines, which is unfortunate. But I'll probably keep reading anyways. I caught up on Gabriel Dropout scans, which there was only 3 more of, but I think that's because they're not going to be doing any more while the manga comes out, which is fine. I have all the manga volumes that are out in English right now, so I think it's only like 1 or 2 more to catch up anyways, so that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I read 10 chapters of Jahi-sama wa Kuji Kanai,
Mm-hmm.
or Jahi-sama Won't Be Discouraged, and it's this former second in place of the demon world, now reduced to basically being a kid who needs to find gems to get her powers back because the demon world was destroyed. It's just a cute, fun gag show.
Mm-hmm.
This really, really weird magical girl person shows up who had destroyed the demon realm, and she's like after the gems, and she's just like a nutcase. Yeah, the series is weird, but it's entertaining, so I'll keep reading it. I read some more of Liberty. I'd only read the first chapter because it's the only thing scanned so far, but I've read up to chapter 6 now. It is a Yuri, and it is post high school, so it's people who are working, someone in game design and someone who is a lead singer of a band, and
Cool.
it's starting to get more dramatic and drama-y, and I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but it's a nice breath of fresh air to read something about adults and not kids, as always.
Yeah, it's something I've been wanting for a while. Is more Yuri about actual adults, not high schoolers.
Yeah, it's cute.
Cool.
I read the first volume of the Sword Art Online Gun Gale Online manga,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a bit conflicted about how I feel about it. The way I'd originally interpreted Pito and M's relationship was more M's obsessed with Pito, and it's one-sided because Pito in the anime never returns those affections. Within the first 3 chapters of the manga, there's a scene of them having sex.
Oh.
In the upside of that, while having sex, she also threatens to kill him.
Oh.
The upside of that, though, is the weird scene where he's like kissing her while she's knocked out. Is less creepy because they are like for sure together, and he also thinks they're about to die. So, because they're going to commit suicide if they lose the game. It's convoluted and dark, but it's not as creepy knowing that as the anime was, where they didn't build that at all. But the scene is also unnecessary and bad. Like, there was no necessary scene for it. The fact that it shows them is very clear who they are, and it ruins any chance of the later on twist where they got me for a second in the anime. It's like, oh, okay, no, it is who I thought it was. That is who I thought Pito was. That's just gone out of the gate by 3 chapters. You know 100% who Pito is. Like, so that kind of sucks. I don't think that scene is necessary just because it destroys that, though. I think I have to interpret the relationship more now as either a benefits thing or as an open relationship, because in the anime too, M mentions Pito just going to lovers, and like clearly is okay with Pito like trying to make out with one of the other characters in front of him. So it's either a benefits thing with a one-sided unrequited love or open relationship. Who knows? But I still ship Len and Pito. So I am. You're just kind of creepy. The one thing the manga does really well, the art is fantastic, the facial expressions are fantastic. Pito has one face where they like kind of hint that she's unbalanced, and her face is like this really disgusting, like off-kilter face, and it's like, oh, that's good. It's put out by Yen Press, and the translation is terrible, which really threw me for a loop. There's like lines where it doesn't make sense grammatically, or even knowing the full context of what they're saying from reading the anime. I'm like, this doesn't make sense what you're saying, including that scene where they're having sex, and it's like, that scene should have just been removed, but I digress. I still love Gun Gale, and I want more. I had to complain about that a bit, though. You brought up Ayura the other day, so I read a few more chapters of that. There's very few translated chapters. I read a bunch ages ago, and I went back and I'm like, oh, there's more, so I read a bit more. But, yeah, there's 109 chapters. and there are, I think, 32 translated right now.
Yeah.
I have read up to 28.
Cool.
I started rereading Elemental Gelad. I started forever ago, but I finally got back to it because I want to finish it finally. It's one I never got to finish, and I really hope with Tokyo Pop coming back, they'll finish releasing the English volumes, but I doubt they still have the licensing rights. If they do,
Yeah.
though, give me a re-release box set and give it all of it. But, yeah, I think that's all of the manga. I think I got through it all. The many, many chapters of different things. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm missing something, though, but that's too bad. We don't have time for that. It's like 10:18. Ooh.
Yeah, we've been going for a while already.
Yeah, we read and watched too much this week, so we had too much to talk about. So, do we want to get
Yeah.
into the last of
Yeah.
this stuff?
Yeah, I can do book club.
Alright, Alderman or Pleiades?
Let's start with Alderman this week.
Alright. Kanna deserved better.
Yeah, seriously.
I knew it was coming from the second she showed up the second time, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what I meant about doing things that you know it's coming, but doing it well. They did such a good job at. You know it's coming. The second they step into that castle, it's like, who's fucking dumb enough to think they'd leave a castle when they've been, like, defending everything tooth and nail? Like, you know they're gonna die. You
Yeah.
know no one's getting out. And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Every moment you see her as soon as the war starts, and you know what's gonna happen, because she got so much more development over other main characters.
Yeah.
But she's not in the opening, she's not in the ending. You know she's going to die. They're just trying to make you sympathize to kill off, so you try not to sympathize, but you can't. You do it
Yeah.
anyways, and then she's gone.
Yeah. It's like I thought that there might be a chance that maybe she would become like Ikta's love interest, but yeah, if she wasn't in like the opening or ending, there's no way she would be in such a prominent role, you know. So yeah, she was doomed to death as soon as she was introduced.
Yeah, we need some edge to. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough. As soon as she went off to war the first time, I figured it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they played with the like ideas of like altitude sickness and that
Yeah.
without the soldiers knowing about it. Also, I'm not worried about it being a conspiracy anymore. That captain's just a raging racist.
Yeah, he's bad.
Yeah, he got kind of killed. He deserves to die at the end of this.
Yeah. Ugh.
The snipers are cool too. They're talking about like real technology for like making bullet travel more straight and like sniper stuff, which is cool.
Yeah. That was
Seeing-
cool.
Seeing development. I wanted him to come up with a term for them that wasn't sniper though.
Yeah, that would be good. But,
We are the headshotties.
oh, that would be real good. Would have been real dumb, real good.
We finally got some development of Haroma as well. The very tiny.
Yeah,
We'll
finally.
probably see a lot more of her in the next episode. Because we see all the dead corpses, the medics are probably going to get moved up. See if they can save anyone left. Probably not.
Yeah. And we finally saw the spirits get used for something in a battle.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're just basically a bunch of flashlights.
Blind them. Which is also interesting to note. The
Mhm.
other side doesn't have their spirits too for this. They were all
Yeah.
stolen. So this is like, that's an advantage only they get.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just happy that they finally did something with the spirits. It's like every week I feel like we complain about them not doing anything with them, but acting like they're very important, and they finally did something.
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah. I didn't end up taking a whole lot of notes on this episode. I feel like there wasn't a lot to take notes for, really.
Yeah, we got some Matthew characterization and character development where he's like asking like, how do
Yeah.
I not be scared like you? And Ikta's like, the fact that you can realize you're scared and want to
Mhm.
change that shows you're like more
Yeah.
in control of yourself and sane than like half the other people here.
Yeah, that was a really good moment. I did like that.
I've
But
heard that before
yeah.
somewhere. It's like they took
Yeah.
that quote from somewhere, but it's still,
Yeah, it's like not a very original thing at all. It comes up in a lot of war stuff, but it was still, I liked it.
hmm yeah, no, it was a pretty nice scene.
Hmm.
Yeah, when they're going and you're like, they might still save her, and then they're like, we have to camp for altitude sickness. It's like, oh god, no, they're
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Because they'd already been surrounded at that point for like 3 days, 4 days.
Hmm.
And you see the people with the altitude sickness dropping like flies, just like,
Yeah. Oh, poor Kanna. She deserved better.
need to write some fluffy fanfic of her just having a nice life with some of the other girls.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's all I got for Odd Armin this week. For some reason, I had this feeling that there was going to be more in this episode, but then there was, but not as much as I was expecting. I don't know.
We did see a lot of Ikta purposely maneuvering around the other captains and how they, like, their incompetence was also slowing it down. Like the one guy who didn't want to charge to support the allies from behind, and then the other guy who's like, you two go on a suicide mission against it. And that really shows you a lot of how the war is being progressing. You like the fact that their forward camp's completely decimated, and these are all the rookies who are on the back line. They're now the forward front because everyone else is dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't say a lot of good stuff about these captains.
Yeah.
I like the whole idea when they're like, we're going to just hold the defenses, and if they come at us, we'll fight them off. He's like, yes, that's okay, and they use that and their charge forward to then separate from them and be like, well, the other commanders aren't here. Or
Yeah.
actually, that's when they take over when they all go forward to take over the base they had lost. Once they capture it, the others aren't up yet, so they're like, okay, I'm in charge still. We're moving ahead. We're not waiting to then get caught up in the bureaucracy of these idiots who don't know what they're doing. Which, yeah. I'm very curious where it's going still.
Yeah. There's something in this episode that makes me wonder. Like, I wonder if Ikta and friends are gonna like defect to the other side. So I could kind of see them doing that, and having like Ikta fighting alongside his dad and the science guy. And I thought, like, because I don't know, the Empire is like bad. Like, just straight up, the Empire is bad, and they're fighting for them, and it makes them inherently bad as well. So it's like, I don't know.
Go.
So I'm just wondering, like, would they, like, is this anime kind of aware enough to be like, oh, maybe being a good soldier for a bad cause isn't very good, so I wonder if they would have them all defect to go fight for a better cause or not. Because it doesn't really seem like they would at this point in the story, but who knows. So I don't know, yeah, curious where this is going. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
I do think that, like, you kind of see that, like, Ikta saying, like, my first priority is the people with me. It's not the country. It's not. And then we also have had the stuff with the princess, which kind of hints at her being disgusted by her own family and the people in power. I think if they do defect, it won't be so much like a defect to Kyoka or something. It'll be civil war with the princess and them going up against the current generals and those in command and trying to wrest power from them. But I could see it happening. But if it does, I do think it'll be through the princess.
That could be. Yeah. And also, it just has me wondering, like, I wonder how much is even going to be in this anime, considering there's a bunch of novels that this doesn't use at all. Like, where does this arc actually end?
I think it ends at the end of this mountain thing. And I say that because Mal has the thumbnails, and one of them looks like they're still on the mountain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like where in the character arcs are they going to be at? Like,
will there be much Matthew or Hero character
Yeah.
development?
Or even, like, will there be some big political conspiracy at all, or will there be stuff about, the princess starting the civil war or defecting or anything like that? Like, will they actually get into any of that stuff, or is it just going to be resolving this conflict with the mountain tribe? Is like, I think they just might not have time to do any bigger picture stuff, and so they just have to be like, well, here's these characters doing this thing.
Yeah, this finished in 2016, so if there's going to be another season, they would have announced it by now, which it would be nice if they did. I think
Yeah.
the best chance at knowing all of what happens is harassing, or not harassing, but when they do those polls for like Kodansha, Seven Seas, I don't know if Yamtress does them or who else, but just submitting this for Light Novel You Want, I think is the only way we're gonna get it. I've been doing that with Chaika too.
Yeah.
And Lance and Masks. I want the Lance and Masks.
What?
Listen, Lance and Masks was a 13-episode season that adapted something like 11 light novels. There's a reason it's a mess. I want to see how bad those novels actually are, or how good they are.
Oh no. Don't do that to yourself.
I want them translated because then everyone else gets done too. I had to do it too.
Yeah. Jeez.
But yeah, I've been really enjoying this series so far.
Yeah, it's been good.
I do like how realistic a lot of the combat and tactics have been. Like sniper is the altitude sickness coming into play, knowing your environment, baiting people into being like, hey, it's an easy defendable castle, let's go defend it, but you also cut yourself off. They're overstretched, their supply lines cut off, and there's no way out of the castle either, so you just get sieged out while dying of altitude sickness. Kinda deserve better.
Yeah. So yeah. Should we move on to Pleiades then?
Alright, Pleiades was a weird episode.
Yeah, that was.
This episode really let me down. It felt like they played too much into the Aoi and Subaru still can't recognize that they're from alternate universes and actually still really care for each other a lot.
Yeah.
That's what it mostly felt like.
Yeah, it really felt like they fumbled that whole thing between them. Where like they just seemed to randomly be like, at the start of the episode it was like, oh, Aoi's being like a good friend and like she's buying Subaru milk and asking if everything's okay, and then 2 seconds later she's like mad at her, and then they like weren't talking anymore, and like then they are suddenly talking while they're doing stuff, and like just having weird flashbacks, and like I don't know, it felt very jumbled. Like they had these ideas that they wanted to do, but then they didn't execute them well at all.
I feel like this arc, if it was gonna happen, should have happened in the first 1 or 2 episodes before Aoi and her originally reconciled their issues. Coming back up was kind of filler.
Yeah.
I think the more interesting thing this episode was Minato.
Yeah.
Because now we see, because we saw there's kind of 2 Minatos, we kind of see they're still the same. They haven't swapped, because we had all those theories about what they could do. The horned Minato is not trapped, is still trying to steal. The explodes are those, the butterflies that the other Minato follows, so maybe.
Yeah.
And is a lot more violent now, like a lot more desperate. Like, he's not throwing out jokes, he's not like messing with them, he's just going straight on the offense.
Yeah.
And insulting them. Which was a pretty drastic change, I think. And then the other Minato is free and is now a transfer student, and doing gardening, and weirdly ignores as if it's like, I don't know you, but then they're like, I might not be the same person I was, you might remember me, I might be a different person. It's like, clearly you know something when you talk like that.
Yeah, I wonder if at the end of that episode, if it was supposed to be like, oh, Subaru talking to Minato and giving the milk and stuff, like, if it like jogged something in Minato's memory that they didn't remember before.
Maybe the
If there was supposed to be
fog,
some kind of, yeah,
Like-
if there's supposed to be like some kind of amnesia thing going on.
yeah, maybe
Right.
keeping it all and then coming back. Cause yeah, there's what's the line, like you always have the key.
Mm-hmm. Something like that, yeah. But yeah, overall, I think this was kind of a disappointing episode because I just feel like they didn't handle any of the aspects of it well.
I thought the Minato stuff was at least interesting still.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
that's something that still we have to see where it grows out of here, because it's like
yeah,
a sudden change from what we knew about Minato. Now it's like, oh wait, you're free now, how is this going to affect it? We haven't yet
Mhm.
seen that, but the other characters can now meet the other Minato and be like, wait, aren't you? Are you not?
yeah.
Type thing. I'm still
Oh,
not
yeah.
certain Minato is not a girl. I'm expecting it to be like the last episode, and Minato is gonna be like, you keep calling me a guy, but I am a girl, you know? I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, hopeful, maybe.
Make it gay.
We'll see. And, I got a real strong vibe in this episode that Nanako knows more than she's saying. That, like, she knows something, or there's something special about her or something. And I don't know if you saw the next episode teaser, but the next episode is about Nanako. So
Yeah, we're finally gonna get those Nanako answers. I think it was interesting.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
idea that she's like is an alien or more controlled by like brain controlled, because
Mhm.
when the alien jumps out to mess with the fireball and gets really dizzy, she's getting dizzy even though he's not on, because he's speaking to her, even though it's not
Yeah.
direct contact. Though she's already been shown to be really quirky, and that could just be her being quirky and playing it up still.
Yeah.
She also like snaps out of it like, wait a second, like.
Mhm.
So I'm starting to lean more to the mind control thing,
Yeah.
which might be really interesting, however that plays out.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited to see the next episode then. To learn more about Nanako. What's up with her? Because I really want to know.
She's such a weird character. I want more. I want more of my
Yeah.
witch-hatted captain
Yeah.
hat. She does have a captain's hat. Maybe she's the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
You
Maybe.
never know.
Maybe. I think we came up with that same idea last week.
Yeah, I think we did, but we gotta keep bringing it up until we find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much else on this episode, I think.
Book Club kind of just went fast compared to everything else this week.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a weaker episode.
Yeah, it was.
I was partly hoping that this was gonna be Aoi turning evil, like leaving them, and I was like, my foreshadowing was right all along, but it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It's still pretty close.
Yeah. It seems like Aoi is here to stay now.
Which is good. I need to.
Maybe that stuff between the two of them is actually resolved for good.
Please,
this time.
please don't keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
Unless if you do something more interesting with it. I don't want a single episodic thing. I want something like where it would have been like a 3 or 4 character arc where she's like not with them or something. I think that would be more
Mhm.
interesting than just the half an episode. Though I guess we never did see how they split apart, and we still
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, they were kind of vague about it. But, yeah. So he was talking like Aoi was going to go to a different school, and I guess they just drifted apart, but yeah, it was never very specific about anything that happened.
So
yeah.
I looked up fics for this.
Oh, yeah?
It's almost all Minato Subaru.
Huh.
There's one
Interesting.
Subaru Aoi, but it also has Subaru Minato.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not reading any of them or the
Mhm.
tags outside the ships because I don't want to be spoiled, but I was really hoping to see, some with some more characters and stuff,
Mhm.
see some different stuff, but I don't. So
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah, I'm surprised. Well, I'm not so surprised. The biggest ship is her and a character who has been very shippy with, but is also probably a guy. Maybe not.
Mhm.
Just because people don't like writing about female gay relationships nearly as much as they like straight or two male, and I don't know why. It's just a thing. You have
Yeah.
a series with 5 cute girls and one guy who might be a girl, and it's almost all one of the girls and the guy.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's like Show by Rock all over again, where it's
Oh.
2 seasons of mostly females, and it's like 20 females, like fix, and then like 80 male because of the mobile game has male bands that are hot, even though there's like no development. It's there's some issues with fan fiction culture, I tell you.
Yeah, there is. There's issue with fan culture in general.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Although female stuff seems to get a lot more in terms of drawn content, and male
Mhm.
gets more written, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, that is interesting.
That's probably because people like to fetishize lesbians, and it's easier
Mm.
to jerk off to,
Maybe.
because yeah, it's a lot of smut.
So yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. I think that's cue to end the episode.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
This has gone too late. I'm on
Yeah.
fan fiction, smut, tangents. We're done.
Yeah. So yeah.
Pack it in.
Yeah. So that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with another episode. You can watch us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sasam, SASAM. It'll be Monday night at whatever time this is.
Whatever time this is.
Yeah,
Usually,
I forget.
Usually around 9 p.m. Central. Or,
Yeah,
whenever, just if it's a Monday, jump on, watch
Yeah.
us, even if you have to leave it open for 8 hours straight.
Yeah, just, whatever. Or if you don't want to do that, you can also catch us on YouTube at shenanimegans.moe. We're being good about uploading the episodes every week.
Although I was a bit late this week, but we still
Yeah.
got it done.
Yeah, we got it.
We forgot what we were naming the episode.
Yeah. And you can also follow us on Twitter at ThatLastly and at SaySomeBots, and you can join our Discord at shenanimegans.moe/Discord. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Alright.
Anime is okay sometimes.
Except when it isn't.
Yeah. We'll see you next week.
Take care.